Got here, and it's time to talk about the next big, not anime, but anime thing that we have with Lord of Mysteries. Not, I know everybody has been hyping this one up, especially source material readers, the trailers, everything has been looking great. I've just watched the 2 episodes back to back, so I'm just gonna talk a bit with my thoughts on it and how I feel about it. But if you guys have read the source material, I have just one request from you guys. Let me know what you think about the adaptation so far, and please no spoiler. I'm very confused after these 2 episodes. We're gonna get into that, but that doesn't mean I want you guys just to give me the answer, even though I'm weird with spoilers. Spoilers don't bother me, but when I do videos on a series, I try to keep it spoiler free, even though it's really hard for me to control. Especially when a series like this, I just want to go into the wiki, look into the source material, get everything as soon as possible. But I'm holding it holder for this series because it seems really interesting, even though I have a million questions after these 2 episodes. So let's get into it and talk about Lord of Mysteries. Now, first of all, let me just get this one out of the way. It looks gorgeous. The animation, the art style, the effects, everything onto it just looks so damn good. And for some reason, the rat POVs, there's quite a few of them in these 2 episodes, they didn't need to go that hard. Like, I've never seen a rat move so well in an anime. I mean, I don't know why, but sure, put quality where is important. A rat never looks so good in an anime here. For the voice acting has been great also. I'm watching it in Chinese dub. I've also watched Link Click like that. It's great. I highly recommend watching in the original dub every time if you can do that. But yeah, the show looks fantastic. I don't want to keep repeating that. That's one of the main qualities for it right now going. Will they be able to maintain this throughout the entire show? I have no idea, but they definitely started strong. And I really like the vibes, the colors. It feels like a bit realistic and anime at the same time, blending very well CG to the animation, and in between those things there. Like the setting, this gothic in a way, London vibe. It's very Sherlock Holmes, and somebody commented also in some videos, definitely Lovecraftian in a way what I'm getting here, but I'm liking it. I'm intrigued. I've liked Sherlock Holmes a lot. I like mystery detective shows, and when you introduce powers also, I'm hooked. I'm here, right here. I wish I had more episodes right now to keep on watching, but let's go a bit through the story and the characters and break down the 2 episodes that we have here. Now, it starts off with a great introduction. I really like that tree. Maybe it's Yggdrasil, I don't know, but it reminded me of that here. Just for the record, and I'm not familiar with Chinese mythologies, myths, and so on. So if I get something wrong, I apologize ahead of time. Correct me in the comments below, but without spoilers, please. Now, Beyonders, people that go through this ascension through divinity path with potions, path of the divine. I'm simplifying it a bit, but you can go higher and higher and be more stronger depending on the potions that you have access to. And there's a few of them here. And it starts out, we kind of get a glimpse of the future in a way, with this guy fighting this undead tentacle horror, eldritch horror thing, monsters and tarot cards. He implodes and then he gets jumped back in time here, shocked that he died, like very confused, like this is the way they do it 24 hours before this event happened in a way. And we get to meet our main character, Klein, or at least the body of Klein, because he's not the original Klein. He got transmigrated. Now, I'm kind of thinking this is more like he went back in time. This is what transmigrated means, or maybe he got isekai'd. I'm not sure for this. It's not fully revealed how this transmigration works. It's also related to the Emperor. He probably was also transmigrated. What was his name? Roselle. I'm sorry if I'm gonna butcher names here. So he's in the body of the original Klein, and I think his name was Zaud. And this is kind of a plot point and a character point also for him, kind of figuring out who exactly he is. I really hope they're gonna expand more into that. Is he gonna become fully Klein, take that persona and whatever was left off from his original life, or pretend to be Klein and still be himself on the inside with Zhao, kind of this dual identity that he has going inside him and for everybody. He also has access to Klein's memories, also his own memories here, which play a role when he gets his powers there. So he quickly has to figure out how he got here. He thinks he made this luck ritual that transported him here, and he has this book that everybody is looking, the Antiguos family book, or at least he used to have it. Officers are also investigating death, apparently a suicide, or maybe not suicide, with this Wolf family. They're all connected to Klein. Like, this is the big mystery that is happening right now. Antigonus family. Again, sorry if I'm butchering names there. So there's a lot of plot points moving along here, and I feel like pretty much everybody's gonna be confused unless you're like some super genius, or maybe you've read the source material and everything is familiar to you. Like, they throw a lot of things at you: information, names, power, world building, terminology, everything along those lines, the plot points, the mystery. Like, there's a lot of expositions going. I feel like the pacing is a bit too fast for that. Now, maybe on a rewatch, or maybe when you get to binge it, is gonna be better, but I feel like it drops a lot of information on the viewer, especially if you're not familiar with the source material. So now Klein, or Zhao, I'm gonna keep calling him Klein, trying to figure out how he got here, what's happening, figure out Klein's life. Also apparently has a sister, Melissa, there. He wants to figure out how he died. Of course, he doesn't want to get her involved, and here is where we get the rat POV going way too hard. He goes outside to get the lay of the land. He's apparently also followed. He stumbles upon this mysticism crystal ball riddle with tarot cards. Kind of gets a reading, but not fully gets a reading. I like the play there. Is it really free? Well, yeah, it's free. But the actual reading, is it also free? He asks about his past, present, and future. We only get to see the present because they get interrupted, and the present for him is the tarot card, the Fool. But apparently that the reader that was doing his reading for him, she was pretending to be the one, and then they get fully interrupted. So from this moment on, I feel like the biggest connection for him is gonna be the tarot card, the Fool, and he kind of takes that name also for himself a bit later on here. He manages to get out there while still being followed by multiple parties, because we have the detectives that were there, and there's also somebody else following him. So there's more people involved in the bigger mystery that we have right now. But here is where he tries to recreate the ritual after he gets back home, to get back to his original time or his original world, but that doesn't really work out. He kind of goes on an LSD trip into this divine realm with gray fog, and he somehow manages to summon two people inside the realm with him. Well, they kind of make a deal. He also realizes he's able to manipulate that fog to create what he wants inside that realm. With this girl, she takes the name Justice, and he takes the name the Hanged Man, both tarot cards, and he asks them to address him as the Fool, and they kind of view him as this higher power being, as a beyond. Now, I don't know, was Klein the original one had this power, or Zhao had this power before he transmigrated? Because he also gets another power later on, so we don't fully know how he has this fog divine realm power that we have it here, but it looked amazing there, and I like how he was confident on the outside, but on the on the inside he was very confused. The other two characters had more information than he had, and I like how, oh yeah, that guy can help you, because the girl wanted to be a beyonder. So there are some ways to be a beyonder there when she asks to be one. You can either join a church, or do other things, use the sequence potions. He has two of them, Sailor or Audience, and they make a deal for them to have these meetings, these gatherings whenever they can, and they decide on Monday, and they offer their services. So they're gonna work for him or with him, depending how that relationship is gonna evolve moving forward, even though they already see him as a higher power being there. But after that, he wakes up or gets woken up because the police is at the door, and we see the guys that were after him in the city. One of them is Leonard and one is Dan Smith. We later find out more about them, but right now Klein was very confused, and they're here to interrogate him about the Welch suicide, the connection he has with them, and they have a lot of information. They find his journal with everybody is gonna die, including himself, because at the start of the episode, they don't want to mention it. He actually died, like the original Klein died. He shot himself. Now, was it intentional that Klein shot himself? Or did somebody manipulate him to shoot himself? We don't fully know what happened. This is the big mystery. Was it a suicide pact? Did somebody else, one of the Eldritch horror things, whatever, put them up to it? But after he got transfigured, transmigrated, my bad, into Klein's body, the wounds started closing up. He started healing. So that's another mystery. He was technically brought back to life, the body at least, but there's somebody else, the mind inside him there. And he was actually honest with Leonard and Smith. Are saying he has amnesia, he doesn't fully recall that night. They sort of believe him, but they know he's also hiding something, and they're gonna have somebody look into his memories. They even find the revolver there, and this is where we see a bit of the Beyonder powers, like the officers were also Beyonders here. He tries to run from them, but he still ends up with them because they manipulate his directions there and mess with his dreams. I think Dawn maybe has some powers of her dreams there. Nighthawk, the agency that they work for, and this girl is able to enter his mind and kind of look at his memories. But I like the comment they made there. Don't worry, she prefers corpses over men. Like, wait a minute, expand a bit on that. But what I liked was when they were inside his mind, he could kind of see his original life, and that gray fog, the power he has, he was kind of helping him in a way not be discovered, because they don't know he's somebody else, not the original client, transmigrated there. And she was looking at his memory, saying even though they could be erased, some remnants of them are left, not fully here. They figure out he shot himself, but they can't get all of the memories out, and they make him an offer. Find that Antigona's book, What Happened at the House, and join us. We're not gonna be able to babysit you, to protect you. You either join us or you're on your own. Become a Beyonder. That was pretty much episode 1. I kind of skimmed through it a bit. Like, the pacing was definitely breakneck. I was hooked, I was interested, but wait, what is this? Let me keep track of that. Thankfully, I took some notes, as I do for a series I do videos on, but there's a lot of information, a lot of moving parts, characters, world building, and of course, it looks great. But now we get a bit to episode, which I feel like it slowed down a bit, but then it went back up with the pacing. It picks up from the last one, with Klein debating a bit if he should join. He goes to this sketchy pub, the Hound pub. Everybody was fighting around there, but that was just a facade, a front for the Nighthawk agency. He goes in, he joins, but apparently Beyonders can also lose control of their powers, and Dan Smith, being the captain, shows him the lost comrades, the people they lost in the line of duty. Probably you don't know what happened to them, but you can kind of imagine dealing with supernatural, and even just a normal detective, you're gonna lose people fighting crime and things like that. And tells him to make a decision for a potion, as in a power he's gonna get from them if he joins. And he goes to visit this Neil, the alchemist guy, which kind of gave me a lot of Harry Potter vibes from him. I don't know why, but definitely made me think of Harry Potter. And it's also very intrigued with Roselle's notebooks, the Emperor. Now, from the start, Klein deduced or assumed that the Emperor was kind of like him, transmigrated here, and the notebooks confirm that he's able to read them, even though the others weren't able to do it because the language is simplified Chinese. So this confirms he was also transmigrated to this world or in the past here, and we see a bit of Roselle's life, the memories, and kind of a key to how the power works, or a better way to utilize them. It's better to internalize the potion. I don't really know what that means, but it's kind of a clue for the powers here, and a regret for Roselle, regretting his choice. He should have picked Apprentice, Seer, or Marauder. They would have been a better choice. As for what did Roselle try to accomplish? But it shows like he affected that world a lot. Like he brought a lot of improvements, future knowledge, there are even receipts, so on, and how things work. He's revered as this emperor in the past. We don't fully know what happened to him, how he got there, and so on, but he's a key character into this story here. And Klein decides to go with the Seer power, or the potion, and Neil made the potion. I really like the way it was made, the ingredients there, that looked really cool, even though it looked like poison. Klein drinks it, and here you see how you can kind of come under the control of the powers, with Neil guiding him a bit, even though it gets a bit messy there, telling him first imagine an object that is in this world, and after that imagine an object that isn't in this world. So at first he imagines Top Hat, and after that he kind of goes wild with a rocket, full technology. Everybody on the outside was feeling something was happening, but they weren't fully seeing the effects, or they weren't seeing the powers being activated. So he had to learn to control that power a bit, internalize it. Maybe that's the concept there. And being a seer, you're able to get this spirit vision, see auras there, and he's able to see some eyes behind Neil, telling him, yeah, no, don't worry about it, it's just some ritual. But I don't know about that. Even Leonard throughout the episode was kind of keeping tracks on Klein here. But after that, being able to tap on your forehead kind of turns on and off the vision here, and Dan tells him not to snoop and get into trouble with things you shouldn't see or you shouldn't become aware of there. So stick in your lane, basically, here, and tells him to get a cane and walk around the Welch house. Maybe it's gonna jog his memories where that book is here. But after this, Leonard comes in with an assignment to find this Elliot kid that was kidnapped, and we see a bit how the powers of the seer works. Kind of saw it in a lot of movies and so on, mysticism, like Rod doing a spell to find the location or something, or someone, or something. And I really like the cane, how it looks. Canes are always cool when they're used properly, and somebody with a cane with a coat looks really cool, and from the visual and so on, kind of see where he ends up. But here the cane looked amazing, and the way it was used like a divining rod to find this key throughout town looked really, really cool. And the spirit vision, that segment was awesome here. But they finally find where the kid was being held up. Leonard goes in and manhandles the kidnappers there very, very easy. But then this feather comes in, which we saw it at the start of the episode also, so somebody's working behind the scenes. This was definitely not just a simple kidnapping, and transforms them into a similar monster to the one that we had at the start. Weaker from the looks of it, and Leonard is able to easily deal with it. He also kind of has a divine realm of his own, not with gray fog like Klein had. More his is more stylish in a way, with these red roses, that aura of it. I actually really like how it looked there. Looks dangerous, but also very beautiful at the same time. They're able to deal with the beast, the monster, whatever you wanna call it. Klein even is able to shoot it, even though he was aiming for for the head. There they save the kid, but here is where we see Leonard is kind of keeping tabs, my bad, on Klein. So yeah, there's a lot more going like that. There's so many things to keep track of here, so many characters, motivations, agendas, worlds, powers, and so on. And Klein kind of sees this weird door that kept drawing his attention into that building. He doesn't go through it while they're dealing with the case, but after that, somehow when he gets back home, that door kind of sticks out to him and kind of goes inside. In a way, he starts dreaming of the full card. So I don't know what's happening. I have so many questions to say the least. But then after this, we also get an end credit scene with Benson, Klein's brother, and his sister and their new home, spending time together and showing they care for each other. Benson even buying some new clothes for Klein as a celebration for his new job. So yeah, again, speedrun a bit, but after 2 episodes, I'm excited, intrigued, and confused as fuck, to say the least. But I'm gonna be here. Looks amazing. I like this type of series, but I have a feeling this series is gonna be much better if you're able to binge it. But if I'm gonna watch it week to week, I really hope you guys are gonna be here for the videos, and let me know if you want videos on Lord of Mysteries. Subscribe to the channels. I know a lot of you maybe watch the videos but aren't subscribed to the channel, so please hit that subscribe button and the like button if you're enjoying my videos, my reactions, my thoughts on series like this. And again, don't go into spoilers if you've read the source material. I know it's very excited and sometimes frustrating when people get things wrong from a series that you really love, or maybe know things ahead, but trust me, I know the feeling. Just don't go into spoilers. So let me know if you want more videos on Lord of the Mysteries. I keep saying I don't know why, it's always like Lord of Mysteries. I gotta internalize that. But yeah, really great premiere right now with these 2 episodes. It's an anime, it's technically not an anime, I don't care, donga and so on. It looks great, and if you haven't watched Link Click, I highly recommend that series also. But yeah, I'm intrigued with Klein and this fantastic world that we have here. I definitely like the vibe, the world, the look, and the power seem very interesting there. But when I see you again on the next one, so keep enjoying anime. Bye bye.